Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today I need your help, or at the very least your advice. I've bought something quite interesting, but I'm well aware it could descend quickly into a big fat money pit. What I've bought is a late 2009 BMW 335 convertible for just £1,650, which is too cheap, way too cheap. In fact, it's probably £4,000 less than it should be. So straight away I've got alarm bells ringing loudly in my head. You know, I've done this job long enough, in fact I've been on this planet long enough to know that if something's too good to be true, then it always is. Moreover, if something's cheap, then it's cheap for a reason. And this BMW is obviously cheap for a reason. I bought this car from a local main dealer as part of a package of cars. Now this is how I often buy cars. I'll get a call from a local main dealer and there'll be 5 or 6 cars there. 4 or 5 are really desirable that I want for the forecourt, but there'll be 1 or 2 there that I just really don't want. But you can't be picky. I've got to say yes to everything. And that's how I've ended up with this BMW 335. I really didn't want it, but I wanted the other 4 or 5 cars, so I've just got to get on with it. Now, I haven't actually seen this car yet, but I have seen a photograph of it and it just doesn't look right. The photograph I was sent showed it side on, so I got its side profile and it had the wrong wheels on. It just didn't look right. So I did some digging. I've got the reg, so I did some research. I did a car vertical check actually, and it came back not as a 335 at all, but as a 320. Which is quite disappointing. So what I'm guessing here is somebody's modified this car. I hate modified cars. Really isn't my scene. I like things to be nice and original. I just hate aftermarket tat. So what I think I've done here is massively overpaid. I've bought a 320i badged as a 335i, I think, for £1,650. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. On top of all that, you know, buying a car that's masquerading as something else, I'm told it's quite scruffy. Honestly, I'm about as excited as a dog going to the vets. Right, anyway, let's put ourselves out of our misery. I shall see you there. Well, we're here. It just doesn't look right, that car at all. Why? There's an exhaust missing. So a 335 should have twin exhaust pipes and we've only got one. Doesn't make any sense, does it? The back lights don't look right, the wheels don't look right, they're too small, they don't even fit in the arches. It just doesn't look right. And the paint finish of the boot lid looks like a chalkboard. It's just really strange, this. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with this. I really don't. I suppose we better go and have a look, hadn't we? Before we do though, I need to say a quick thank you to today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Holy. I spend all day rushing between the office and the garage, and I need something to drink to keep my energy levels up that isn't going to rot my teeth like a sugary energy drink. I also realised I'm spending far too much money on coffees, and they're no good for your waistline. I've often got a busy day of filming ahead, and I don't like to run out of energy halfway through. And that's where Holy comes in. Holy's a healthier alternative to your typical soft drink, and they're only 20 calories per serving. There are no sugars, no artificial flavours or colours. Plus they taste really good, genuinely. What I'm currently drinking is a raspberry and orange flavour. It's called the Raspberry Raptor. It's right up my street, actually. I've never been a big fan of energy drinks. I don't like that weird aftertaste you get with some of them. But with this, well, you just don't get that. As you can see, it's really easy to make. All you need to do is add some water to the shaker and then put a spoon of powder in and then shake till your heart's content. Should do a little, I prefer it with freezing cold water or a bit of ice. It's perfect if you're on the go a lot because you get these little shakers you can take with you. It's not just about convenience, it's also better for the environment. The packaging's fully recyclable, so you cut it down on waste. I just found Holy to be a great way to keep my energy up without compromising taste or convenience. If you'd like to try this for yourself, then I recommend one of their starter sets. If you use my promo code, you'll save yourself £5 off your first order, or 10%. All you need to do is click the link below in the video description. Well, thanks Holy for sponsoring today's video. Sadly, we've got to move to something far less tasty, this old BMW. Right, well here it is then. My 335, which I don't think is. Because, like I say, it should have another exhaust pipe. My guess is this is a 318 or 320 or something. Someone's badged. They've rebadged it, you fool. The bumper there is ill-fitting, to say the least. The wheels don't fit properly. That rear quarters had so much paint. Started to blister there as well, but that paint finish is terrible. Nice folding metal roof though, which I doubt works. It's come from A1 Autos originally. Oh, well, look at this. We've got some offensive wheel sensors. What's the tyre? A Dayton. A Dayton, okay. These are the wrong wheels, I think, for this car. They just don't fit properly, do they? We've got smoked out indicators. It's had so much paint, this thing. We've got the wrong wing mirror covers, they're hideous, and some shades on them for no obvious reason. Moving around the front then. Oh, look at that grille. Very snazzy, isn't it? Nice snazzy grille there. It smells of oil as well. So it's a Manchester car originally. The front bumper's been painted many times by the looks of it. I can see runs in the paint. I'm wasting my time with this, aren't I? Even I know that. And I bought some dogs in my time, let me tell you. Right, that tyre looks particularly bald and particularly old. More M Sport badges here. This is just offensive, isn't it? I mean, it's cheap, but I don't think it's cheap enough. Well, that works at least. Oh, look at the lights lighting up. Night Rider. Moving inside then, my windows just dropped all the way for some reason. Oh, this gets worse. Have you seen that? This has been used for drifting or something, hasn't it? We've got what looks like a policeman's truncheon or a rolling pin there as a gear lever. What an absolute... Who's owned this? We've got a golf ball, which doesn't really tie in with the rolling pin gear lever, does it? Wouldn't have thought somebody playing golf would have some broken trim here. I think this is just a donor vehicle at best. That's worrying as well. The OBD port there is, the cover's missing, so someone's been plugging into this frequently, haven't they? We've got some Costco fuel, no expense spared there. Pay at pump there at Tesco, 20 quid. Lavish with money, hasn't it, this car? Lavished. We've got some, is that vapes? I don't know, I don't vape, I'm not a vapist. I think they're vapes. Dishwasher safe cups. No. Oh, there's my OBD cover. There we go, that's one problem. I think we'll pop that back in there for safekeeping. Oh, what a piece of scrap. Did I pop the bonnet there? Let's have a look under there, see what engine this is. My guess is not the 3-litre turbo from the 335. Oh yeah, we've got a little 4-cylinder. So this is a 320, I guess. We've only got 4 cylinders, guys, and a load of space. They always look weird 4-cylinder BMWs because there's just so much space under the bonnet there. Now, what else can I tell you? It stinks of oil, so we've got a major leak somewhere. It reeks of oil. Maybe rocker cover gasket, I don't know. Don't know, I can't see any obvious leaks, but it stinks. It stinks. Let's have a look under here then. Oh yeah, that's smoking. Right. Who's owned this thing? All deflated now. I mean, if this was like, if this owed me £500, I'd just scrap it. But at £16.50, I can't afford to. So, the cover's down for the roof, which at least gives me a bit of hope that it works. Under there we've got nothing, some space, some storage. Pop that back down there. Soft close boot. Oh dear. We've got the original gear knob. Look at that. Well, I can fit that back at least. We've got a M Sport thing there, look, hang on. What have we got in the glove compartment? Glove compartment doesn't open. Got some cup holders here. This is an absolute, this might be the worst thing I've ever bought, you know. We've got more vapes here, look. 4,000 puffs. Car there for the prison. Very good. Yeah, this isn't a nice car, is it? Bill there from Eurocar parts for something. Now, is my glove compartment just locked? If it is, we could have a look in here, couldn't we? No, now it's locked. So it's not locked, now before it was just broken. Nope, can't get into that. Should we start it up then and see if the roof works? I suppose we should, shouldn't we? So we've got a 320 badged as a 335 with some sort of weird Fast and the Furious gear lever. Inside then, the leather seats are quite comfortable. Inside we've got an aftermarket stereo, which is offensive. Some sort of ill-fitting surround for it. That's worrying. So there, behind the glass, is a little M Sport sticker, which means somebody's had the clocks out. Which means, why would you have the clocks out, really? You don't have the clocks out for one reason, wouldn't you? Either covering up a light, actually two reasons. Either covering up a light, like an engine light, which when I put my ignition on, doesn't illuminate. Why should the engine light be on one of these? Or they've tampered with the mileage. Or both. Could be both. What a turd. That doesn't sound the best straight away. And this is just offensive. Who's run around in this? I just don't understand. Auxiliary in there. Golf tee. Found 4p there, so it's not all bad, is it? Everything's broken. It's just had such an abused life, this thing. Oh, we've got a bit of a misfire by the sounds of it. It feels a bit vibratey. Should we try the roof? Do you think it'll work? I don't think it will. Huh? I was wrong. We've got a functioning roof at least. Well, that's not good. We've got a little bit of smoke coming from under the bonnet there. That's not good at all. I did say it stank of oil, so I think we've got a major leak there. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Oh, that's not... Can you see that? Yeah, this... that isn't good at all, is it? I think I better turn that off before it gets worse. That's only from stars in their eyes, isn't it? Oh, right. In fact, let's put the roof up. Just thinking out loud here, but maybe if this car caught fire, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. On the bright side, the weather's nice today. It's quite a nice day. Stinks of oil. Stinks. Let me move this forward then. Actually, difficult to get in gear. What I was going to say was, with a longer gear lever, you do get a bit more purchase. What's an absolute nail? I don't know what I'm going to do with this, guys. I'm actually lost for words, and that doesn't happen very often. What do I do? I think what I'm going to have to do is advertise this as some sort of donor vehicle, parts vehicle. Just advertise it very cheaply. Just try and offload the problem, really. Because it just isn't worth saving, is it? It really isn't. There's more wrong with it than right, really. The only thing it's got going for it are the leather seats. That isn't worth anything, is it? See the smoke coming from under the bonnet? Right, I'm going to go and have a coffee, I think, and have a think about what I'm going to do with this. Might come back with a gallon of fuel and a match. Well, a week has passed since we last spoke, and I'm back with my BMW 335. Actually, that's not right, is it? I'm back with my BMW 320i. This really is a sheep in wolf's clothing, isn't it? For the last 7 days, I've been racking my brains as to what to do with this car. It's too expensive to scrap. I gave it to my mechanics and asked them to check it over, and I got a list as long as your arm. It's a, how did they describe it? An uneconomical repair. The main concern with this car was the oil leak, and it was mine as well. Every time you start it and drive it, there's just smoke pouring from under the bonnet, so it's not good. Sadly, had this been a 3 litre, had this been a 335, then it would have been worth saving. But as a 320, it just isn't desirable. You know, had this had a big 6-cylinder engine under the bonnet, then I could have sold it in its current state even as a drift car. But as a company car spec 2 litre, no one's going to want to drift that. You know, with 168 brake horsepower, it wouldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding, so nobody's going to be drifting in this. Although I haven't massively overspent on it, I do massively regret buying it. But like I said at the start, I bought it as part of a package of cars. And I'm well aware that with these packages of cars, occasionally there's a car in there that I'm going to take a big fat loss on. You're staring there at a big fat loss. I've actually sold this car now to another car trader who's just going to get rid of it for me. But, do you want to know what I've sold it for? Are you interested? I'm going to have to say this quickly because it depresses me. Bear in mind I paid £1,650 for this car. I've sold it for, drum roll please, £1,000. That's a loss of £650. It's great business, isn't it, this? I just thought, and I have put some serious thought into this, it's the only way out of it for me. I can't even really sell it for parts. 1, I haven't got the time, 2, I haven't got the space, and 3, a lot of the parts are damaged or in poor condition, so it just isn't worth anything. But I thought at least at £1,000, somebody can do something with it, but just not me. I'm not the man for it. So what I'm going to do now then, guys, is get in it, sadly, and drive it over there and take my £1,000 and then move on. Fortunately, where I'm taking this car to is only about half a mile away. So just got my fingers crossed that it doesn't blow up on the way. And that's about it. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. But yeah, cheers guys. I'll see you next time.